The next dread invite would have to wait. Some preparations would need to be made before then. Some more loose ends tied up. This one involving something that was meaning to do but hadn't got around to. Apparently the big bird came out of a rift from this black forest along the rivers. Where did this rift open up from? Some kind of parallel world? Well, if that was the case, not all abnormalities were made from humans, although most of them probably were. Binah didn't fight personally, but her librarians knew what to do. And they weren't gonna hold back. The actions of the librarians would buy time, but nothing more than that. Yeah, the librarians would need to defeat one of the eyeball kids. Fairly soon. Otherwise, it wouldn't be looking good for the librarian that was the target for the big bird. Yeah, Harriet was in trouble. Thankfully, there was something to put the big bird asleep. Apparently not doing that would make things more lethal. Thankfully, that didn't happen. And the big bird was open to attack. Yeah, good for the philosophy team. and at least some damage could be caused to the big bird in the process. Yeah, this big bird. Believe that if I didn't destroy these, they wouldn't be saved from this big threat. Obviously not considering that it was becoming a threat. Oh yeah. And this time the lullaby could be used directly. And there was nothing for the big bird to hide behind. Unfortunately, Harriet was immobile, so the home advantage couldn't be pressed forward as far as she was concerned. The others, well, they deal as much as they could. But even that wasn't enough. It was barely not enough, and Candy was incapacitated. Well, thankfully, there was another lullaby to sing to this big bird. So all wasn't lost. In fact, all was lost for the big bird, as there was enough for, well, anyone to finish the job. Although one attack was enough. And the philosophy team had the power of the big bird. A shame that Binah couldn't assist. It was unclear why.
묻고 싶은 것이 많은 얼굴이구나. 우선 자리에 앉아서 차라도 들렴.
이런 자리는 익숙하지 않은데 말이지.
모든 건 익숙해지긴 마련이란다. 네가 보는 도서관은 어떤 곳이니?
또 그 질문이야? 전에도 말했잖아. 아니면 마탱이가 같나?
바라보는 것은 언제나 바뀌긴 마련이란다.
아, 그래. 또 대답해줄게. 전엔 거창하게 투기장이니 뭐니 했지만 도서관은 그냥 사람이 죽는 지극히 정상적인 도시의 일부야.
그렇구나.
홍차는 커피와 또 다른 맛이 있어서 나쁘지 않네.
찻잎에 고통이 서려있기 때문이지.
아직도 믿기지 않지만 넌 머리에 조율자였다면서?
그렇단다.
조율자를 만나면 묻고 싶은 게 많았거든.
내가 답해줄 것이라 생각하니?
전혀. 게다가 정말 조율자라면 왜 가만히 있는 거야?
난 지켜볼 뿐이란다. 조율자로서의 나는 일찍이 내려둔 채 말이지.
그냥 지켜볼 뿐이라고? 그런 것 치곤 꽤 고분고분하게 엔젤라를 돕는 것 같은데.
내게 주어진 것을 할 뿐 그 이상도 그 이하도 아니야.
그렇다면 머리가 알고 있는 도시의 비밀을 알려달라고 엔젤라가 명령한다면?
답하지 않을 걸 알기에 시도조차 하지 않는 거겠지. 아니, 어쩌면 내가 모르는 사이 시도했을지도 모르겠구나.
내가 이 자리에서 널 죽이고 책으로 만들겠다면, 그래서 네가 알고 있는 모든 걸 끄집어내겠다면?
당돌하구나. 그리고 상당한 적의가 느껴져. 그래서 넌 우리와 다른 거겠지.
음습하게 도시를 주무르던 녀석에게 예의를 차릴 필요는 없지.
나로 인해 자신의 꿈이 무너진 사람이 있었단다. 하지만 그 사람은 나를 마주보고서도 그 너머를 보며 분노했지. 눈앞에 있는 걸 보지 않고 언제나 너머만을 보고 있었어. 너와 엔젤라는 당장 뒤만 보고 있구나.
이봐, 말 돌리지 마.
굉장히 날카로워. 무겁고 느린 치명적인 독을 품고 있구나. 나는 너를 알고 있단다. 너는 나를 모르겠지만 말이야. 나는 침묵할 뿐이란다. 그리고 바라볼 뿐이지. 그러니 걱정 마렴.
너와의 대화는 앞으로도 평행선일 것 같군.
아, 고통이여. 너는 결코 내게서 떠나지 않겠기에 나는 마침내 너를 존경하기에 이르렀다.
난 이제 널 알겠다. 넌 존재하는 것만으로도 아름답다는 것을.
차는 조금 더 들고 가지 그러니.
입맛 버려서 말이야.
가끔 말 상대나 해주려무나. 너와 이야기 나누는 것은 재밌구나.
퍽이나.
Who was she trying to kid? Yeah. Now this next one looked like a tree with a brain on top with nerves and eyes. And it looked like it needed a more defensive way of doing things. Well, Hokma certainly did. Well, he made sure that they were set up for a more defensive way of doing things. Because if they didn't, well, they wouldn't be able to do much of anything. So they continue this defensive way of doing things. Clearly having some methods there. Apparent methods. Apparently it was all to stagger the smaller versions of the Burrowing Heaven, as it was called. Yeah, there wasn't a lot of dedicated offensive attacks that could be used. But they did what they could. And apparently there was a trick with this. You could only redirect an attack meant for one position by replacing it with another. Not with different Librarian, as apparently that could be painful. It's like diverting attention to a different place. And this abnormality, from what I've heard about it, hates that. Well, Hokma's strategy was paying off. Although the question was, what would happen after? The answer to that was, take on the Burrowing Heaven directly, doing what could be done. As much as could be done as possible. thankfully, the librarians were allowed to catch up if more than one of the attacks were focused on a specific librarian. Oh yeah, and there was one of the smaller trees that was missed, so no attack in the Burrowing Heaven yet. Yeah, time was against the religion team. And the Burrowing Heaven, well, that one was taking the fight to the religion team directly. Yeah, they'd better start praying. Now they're doing anything. Was only direct action. True. I mean, you need to do something more productive than praying. Don't get me started on religion. Oh yeah. As for what problem there was with the Burrowing Heaven, that would become abundantly clear. After it was stagnant. That only postponed the inevitable. Although thankfully, it meant some actual damage could be dealt with. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough. As more of the smaller trees were ground up, which meant finishing it off would have to wait until it's taken care of. That's no small task, considering it was clear that more would be coming if they weren't dealt with quickly. Especially with how effective they can deal a lot more with what they had by this point. I didn't want to know what this was originally. Yeah, now there were two of these. Oh, and as for that problem that would appear, well, after the second one sprouted up, that problem would become obvious. But before that, it was time to deal with the one that was already there. Yeah, even if it was incapacitated, if one of the trees weren't attacked by the, or at least defended against the one that was supposed to, a lot of damage was caused to all the others. The religion team knew better than to try that again. They also knew that they needed to deal with it a lot sooner. Because if they didn't, well, they'd just keep coming. Until the religion team was defeated. Thankfully, that didn't happen. And they could focus on countering the Burrowing Heaven and find a way of finishing the job. And there was a limited window of opportunity to do so. Which meant every opportunity needed to be taken advantage of. And thankfully, such an opportunity appeared. it was time to finish the job. It is also best not to take chances. Thankfully, they weren't necessary, and the Burr in heaven was defeated. The religion team would be able to wield its power.
아리야, 뭐 이리 원하는 책이 많아?
늦게 깨어난 만큼 알아야 할 게 많다. 난 남들보다 늘 늦었으니까.
다른 사람보다 늙은 게 아니고?
시시한 비아냥이군.
이곳의 사서들은 모두 카르멘이라는 사람을 따랐다는데 너도 그 사람을 따라서 연구에 참여한 거야?
모두가 카르멘을 따랐지만 난 다른 사람을 따랐다. 로보토미를 세우고 엔젤라를 만든 아인이라는 사람이 있었지. 난 그를 믿었다. 다들 무언가를 믿고 있듯 나는 그 사람이 행하고자 하는 것이 옳다고 믿었어. 롤랑, 넌 믿고 있는 종교가 있나?
아니, 도시에 제대로 된 종교가 있나 싶고. 큰 종교라 해봤자 다들 돈만 밝히는데 뭐하러 믿나?
다르게 물어봐야겠군. 넌 무엇을 믿고 있지?
믿고 있는 거? 내가 언젠가 여기서 나갈 수 있다는 걸 믿고 있지.
그건 소망이고.
그럼 난 믿고 있는 것 따위 없나 보다. 애초에 당장 제 앞길 찾는 것도 바쁜데 그런 걸 신경 쓸 겨를이 어딨겠어. 꿈이든 믿음이든 지금 바로 도움받을 수 없는 걸 생각하고 돌이키는 행동 자체가 힘든 세상이지. 그러는 넌 믿고 있는 게 있나 봐.
난 선생님께서 원하시던 세상이 오리라는 것을 믿고 있다. 이 믿음 안에서 내 행동 원리를 결정하지.
어떤 사람이었길래 그렇게 헌신적이야?
먼 곳을 바라보는 사람이었다. 닿지 못할 곳에 닿으려는 사람이었어.
그건 카르멘이란 사람도 마찬가지 아니야?
다르지. 아인 씨는 기꺼이 악이라도 받아들이고자 했으니.
말 나온 김에 그 아인이라는 놈 난 이해할 수 없어. 애초에 죽은 사람들 억지로 꾸역꾸역 살려놓고 지하에서 소꿉놀이 할 뿐이었잖아.
소꿉놀이라는 말로 비유할 수 있는 가벼운 일이 아니다.
얼마나 대단한 걸 깨달았는지 몰라도 그 과정은 민폐덩어리 그 자체구만. 너희가 억지로 두 번째 삶을 받아 로보토미에서 고통받은 것도, 엔젤라가 저렇게 화나 있는 것도 다 그 인간 때문이잖아. 외부인으로서는 전혀 좋게 볼 수가 없단 말이지.
선생님은 그런데도 닦고자 했다. 어떻게든 채워 넣어 달아가는 삶을 견디고자 했다. 넌 모를 테지. 그 희생과 헌신을.
완전 광신도구만. 믿음은 연약한 사람의 눈을 멀게 하지.
눈이 먼 건 나뿐만이 아닌 것 같다만.
너보단 덜하다 임마.
I wouldn't be surprised if the zealot was in love with this Aeon guy. Yeah, now this one required some defensive strategies. Well, tactics. Yeah, that's probably a fair way of putting it. Because attacking the punishing bird, nothing good would come of that. At least not at the start of this battle. Because attacking it even once would result in the punishing bird eating. The one that attacks it. And considering how tough it was, a different strategy was needed. Yeah, no matter how much the punishing bird packs, it's not a good idea to fight back. Those that did, well, the librarians would be too mild a way of putting it. The same, of course, could not be said about the keepers of the Black Forest. They could be attacked. There was a reason why there was occasion of the punishment. But whatever it was, it would be made clear. But before that, the keepers would need to be taken care of. Now, the punishing bird may look small, but like many things in this world, looks can be deceiving. I mean, even the big bird may look, well, may have looked harmless, but if allowed to, it could cause Quite a lot of damage. Yeah, it looked kind of hopeless dealing with all this, but there was a way out of this. Involve killing the keepers. Well, at least being staggered by the enemy wasn't going to be a problem. Or at least not as much. Oh yeah, the keepers. Let's just say they had something that would help out here. Something that Candy had. And all that needed to be done was provoke the punishing bird. And provoke she did. Yeah, salvation was at hand. Oh yeah, and what the keepers had. Well, involved something which would solve this problem. One of the chains holding up the cage was broken, which meant that if enough of them were broken, it would mean that it wouldn't be a matter of dealing damage, but rather continue. Yeah, I could live with that. Yeah, they were doing it multiple times. Make sure that the punishing bird would be provoking the right targets. Well, targets in this case, as Harriet would be the one to do all she could to lure the punishment bird, well, the punishing bird, into its own punishments, imprisonment, and add its power to the philosophy team.
여기 새로운 책들이야.
환상체를 등에 지고 싸우는 건 익숙해졌니?
그냥 대충 마음 가는 대로 휘두르면 되던데.
상당히 적성에 맞는 모양이구나.
이런 것도 적성이 있나? 그냥 하는 거지.
너에게 적성이 있다면 이 다음에는 에고를 직접 발현할 수도 있겠지.
그 말은 나도 뒤틀려서 환상체가 될 수 있다는 소리야?
그렇단다.
인제 와서 괴물이니 뭐니 그런 게 된다 해도 감흥이 없다. 그게 무슨 상관인가 싶기도 하고.
많은 걸 내려놓은 듯한 말이구나.
내려놓은 게 아니라 빼앗긴 거지. 알지도 못하는 일에 떠밀려서 다 잃었거든.
도시 때문이라고 생각하니? 너의 평범하고 소소한 행복을 도시가 빼앗았다고 생각하는구나.
맞아. 어쩔 수 없다고 생각하고 포기한 걸지도. 내가 원하는 게 생겨도 이 세상은 그냥 내버려 두지 않아. 어떻게든 나에게 고통을 주지.
넌 다른 누군가에게 고통을 주거나 뭔가를 빼앗은 적이 없니?
당연히 있지. 그래도 그건
그거고 이건 이거다 라고 말하고 싶은 거겠지. 하지만 과연 그럴까? 그렇게 편한 대로 잘라낼 수 있는 문제라고 생각하니?
당연하지. 내가 겪은 아픔은 내 것이고 남의 고통은 남의 것이니까.
속 편한 말을 하는구나. 누구보다 잘 알면서 그 누구보다 그 사실을 외면하고 있어. 너는 보이지 않는 게 아니란다. 보고 있지 않을 뿐이지. 도시의 사람은 그렇기에 취약한 것이란다. 내 아픔이 무엇보다 소중하고 확실하니까. 하지만 그렇지 않다는 걸 알기에 그 모순 속 뒤틀림이 빚어지는 거지.
넌 보인다는 거야? 이 도시의 아픔이? 그걸 다 헤아릴 수 있다고? 무엇이 문제인지.
헤아리지 말고 바라봐야 하는 거지.
아휴, 역시 말장난이나 하고 있군. 그렇게 뜬구름 잡는 소리 하다가 다들 돼지는 거야.
그것도 맞는 말이겠구나. 그렇기에 내가 여기 있는 거겠지.
책은 전달했으니 난 갈 거야.
잠깐.
난 너랑 할 말 없어.
이걸 받으려무나.
이게 뭔데?
홍차이피란다. 내가 추천하는 거지. 향이 좋단다.
아, 진짜. 일단 받아는 둘게. 고마워.
Those abnormalities would come in handy for what Binah was about to do. Well, it would depend on how what was coming went. As for what I'm talking about, well, let's take a break before we do that. Gotta keep up the suspense somehow, and this one was gonna be one of those big ones.